Hi.
So,
So we're gonna have a strap and two blocks and a towel roll
all right.
or a blanket roll, whatever works for you. And let's see here. I'm just making my roll as well.
I'm copying you.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, well, what I did was, because I have really thin Turkish towels.
Yeah.
And so if you have like a regular terry cloth towel, I think you only need one, but I have two here folded in half on top of each other. And then I'm going to put them together, fold it again in half.
Okay.
And then, so you could just do that with one terry cloth. I just keep looking back to see if Anya's joining yet.
Okay.
And then just tightly roll her up. You know what? I think I need to do it again because I feel like, oh, here she is.
It's weird. Are you seeing my video?
I don't see your video now.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, I think your camera's off.
Nope, it's on. It's
It
just
is?
not. Yeah.
Do you wanna try to leave and come back? I mean, I don't need to see you. I would
True.
love to see you, but
Let me try.
yeah, go ahead, leave and come back. Hi, Anya.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good.
So we're just gonna have two blocks, a strap, and then making that towel roll. So if you have just a regular terry cloth towel, you only need one. I have Turkish towels for towels, so I grabbed two. Or you can use a blanket. And what you'll do is just fold it in half and then in half again, and then roll it up pretty tightly so that it's a little firm for a towel, that is.
Hmm. Well, apparently my camera's not working.
Maybe you need to restart your whole system, but
Yeah.
maybe
Not right now.
not right now. Yeah.
It
I
did
was
an
gonna say.
update, so who knows what it
Oh,
did
that's probably what
when it updated.
just a forewarning, a couple poses here. I was just playing around and they're not exactly traditional, but I was like, this feels really good. So I think we should do that.
Nice.
And they take a bit of prep. So, but we'll obviously go through it all. But for right now, I think Anya's still grabbing stuff. So this is what the towel roll looks like. And then, you know what? Last week, like you were, I don't know, in some position, and then Will like came and like literally looked like this, like, and then he walked away. I couldn't hold. I mean, I did hold myself, but I almost like lost it. He's so cute. Anyway, okay. So let's get started. Are you good on how to roll it, Anya? Great. All right. Well, that's what we're going to start with. So again, we've been doing this like just progressively opening. So starting really like gentle. And so the towel roll is just going to be where your bra strap, actually below your bra strap. So really opening up the rib cage, right? The middle of the rib cage. And if it's too much to straighten your legs, you can bend your knees, feet flat on the ground. And then, sorry, just getting my timer going. There we go. So yeah, just noticing what feels best for you. Straight legs, bent knees. You can do butterfly where you're Knees are apart, feet are together, and then just letting your spine and rib cage melt over this towel roll and feeling for if it's like equal, aligned in the middle of your back. Sometimes it could be like lopsided, so just making sure. And right away, just in this first position, noticing as you come from whatever you came from, either being stagnant or um, or moving around a lot, coming into the stillness with relaxation can be a difficult transition. So just noticing where you might be gripping and protecting to start. Can you really allow your spine to bend? Sometimes we hold our breath. I know I am guilty of this, like in the beginning of a yin class, or especially in this position where it's like really pressing into my lungs and rib cage, where, my breathing is affected. And so I can grip with my breath, like holding it shallow enough so that my sides don't fully drop into the towel roll. So maybe that's you, maybe it's something else for you, might be your glutes, your low back, just seeing how much you can let go. And if it's uncomfortable, you can move your body down towards your feet so that the towel roll is a little bit higher on your back, if that feels better. Just exploring, not too high, but just, still opening up the rib cage, the sternum, but maybe at a lesser angle. So meeting yourself where you're at and giving yourself what you need. That's what this is all about. And with that letting go, letting your breath be full, letting your body relax, find your breath and let it aid you into leaning towards and working towards, being on the journey towards fully relaxing. Feeling the pressing of the towel, the opening of the front body. Teeing your arms out, bend your knees, feet are planted, and then roll to either side wherever you have more room, connecting both of your palms and stacking your hips, stacking your shoulders so you roll over onto your side. And then let your top palm help you up, releasing the towel roll off to the side. And then we'll deepen this. So setting your blocks up now for another heart opener. I like my blocks on level 2, that's on my back, and then level 3 for my head. Making your way back. So this time the bottom of the back block is going to be lined up with where your bra would be. Or maybe it is right now. And then your head onto the back block. And so you can totally, if you're really open and you want more and it, you're not gonna grip by just being there, you can raise the back walk up to the highest level if you want. You can take it down to a lower level if you want to just be a bit more gentle. And again, anything you want to do with your legs long, knees bent, butterfly, constructive rest, where your knees are together, feet are wide. Whatever feels right to you right now. And notice what this feels like now as we are coming into it, not, fresh into it, but after warming up the spine a little bit over the towel roll. What is that like? You might explore with your arms, maybe they're in a T, might just be by your sides. Maybe you reach your arms overhead for a few moments. And anywhere you decide, just notice again where you might be gripping, where you're not allowing a full letting go into this moment, into the support below you. Another thing you can do with the arms is interlace your palms behind your head, like on your neck, below the block. And the elbows get to open wide, chest gets to open wide. And then just finding that deepening of your breath once again. Breathing into any spaces that might be gripping, holding tight. And we'll bend into our knees. And same thing, rolling to either side where you have more room and rolling all the way over. So your shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, and then aiding yourself up into a seated position. Feel how straight your back is. And then we'll take those blocks off to the sides. They're in reach. Come onto your back. And feel the flatness of the floor below you. Knees are bent, feet are planted. Just take a moment to feel the ground. Feeling the support of the ground. It's not just blocks that support us, but the ground itself. Sometimes we forget about that because it's always there. And then you'll lift your hips and the block, one block underneath your sacrum. And this will be on level 1, or if you're really feeling fancy, you can put it on level 2, only if that feels okay. Just pausing here for a minute. And then taking your left knee into your chest, you can either use the strap or interlace your palms behind the leg and straighten your right leg. Start to get into the psoas, the hip flexor. So we did extension of the spine, the upper spine, and now extension of the hip, soon the other hip. And if this feels pinchy at all in your low back, you can always keep your knee bent and your foot flat. Letting your toes relax, letting this be passive. And noticing the transition that you're making into your practice. Now that we've been here for some time in practice, noticing if your body is relaxing a little bit more, or if it's still tense. Where is your breathing? Has it deepened? Can you bring conscious awareness to your breath? Staying in this moment, staying with your experience. And then bending into your right knee, foot plants, left foot plants. Feeling the difference between the two legs, two hips. And then we'll switch. Right knee comes into your chest and left leg goes long, if that is right for you. And you can interlace your palms in front of your knee or behind your thigh. whatever feels better and more supportive for you. Breathing into your left hip, feeding it to open, to relax, and to let go. Noticing if your mind has drifted away, and just simply making your way back to your experience, to this moment right here and right now, with your breath, or focusing on sensations. And bending into your left knee, foot plants down into the ground, right foot plants onto the ground, and just feeling your 2 feet on the ground for a moment. If you are on the second level of the block, you'll lift your hips and just turn the block to the first level and then come down onto the block. If your block was already on the first level, you can just remove the block off to the side and feel the flat floor. Just taking a moment to ease our way back down. And then we'll lift the hips again, remove the block completely, and come all the way down onto the flat surface. And feeling what flat feels like. And I should have said this before, going down onto our back, but let's reach for that strap if you have it. And then we'll come onto our left side. Just coming all the way onto your left side. You can prop your head up with your hand for right now. We're moving into like a dancer's pose, but on our side, because this is a yin class, we should be relaxed doing it. And so you can either grab your foot with your hand and pull your heel up into your glute to find a little bit of hip extension. You can support that leg with a block underneath the thigh and also kind of aiming where you want your thigh to go. It helps with that. And if you would like to take a lot of the work out of it, but there's just a little bit of preparation here, you can wrap your foot up with the strap, right? Just loop it around your ankle. And then bend your elbow and just wrap the strap around your shoulder. And you can give it a little pull so that you find your hip in extension. And from that point, you can extend your bottom arm so that your head can relax down on the ground. And the block under your leg, I mean, it all depends on, you know, how your hips are. So it might be level 2, level 3. You might want to push the block back so that it supports your foot instead of your knee. Just kind of playing with it. And the bottom leg, I have it, you know, a bit bent so that I'm not like falling back or forward. It's kind of creating a foundation for my body on its side. And you'll notice like my leg doesn't go back very far because I don't have that big of a range of motion for hip extension. You can also just hold the strap over your head and get a nice stretch in your arms as well. Walking your hands down the strap to pull the heel in further and extend the hip further. I keep losing my headphone. So yeah, you can just explore what feels best here. Going for a little bit more of a hip extension without the support of the block. I'm getting a little bit into the quad, which you can't really do so much with the block. Not in the position we were in. And because we're holding the strap, it can be easy to start really like gripping your shoulders and whatnot. So you're just really being with this moment, breathing, noticing where you're unnecessarily tensing, holding. And you have the strap, so if you need to like give it a rest for a couple seconds and then pull it back in, you've got that control. And we'll slowly give it some slack, pulling the strap around. Lost my headphone again. I hope it doesn't turn off if it drops, just one drops. So you'll bring your knees in, and if you do have a block, well, you can actually just leave it there because we're just going to simply roll over to the other side. You guys will just roll over to the other side. I, though, will get up and switch sides completely so that I'm not having my back towards you, but go ahead and start to get yourself in position, just being on your right side with a block behind you if that felt right on the first. And you might just grab the ankle with your hand. You might strap it up with your strap, looping it around your ankle. Let's see here. Yeah, so like I'm really up right now and I'm placing my leg onto the block, and then I'll make my way all the way down and take the strap over shoulder, or maybe grabbing it with both hands. Oh, I lost my block. Oh well. And then I just caught myself, I'm like really leaning back. I'm almost like on my butt. So just making sure you're leaning forwards, your hips are stacked, and then giving the strap a little pull, a little tension. And just keep tuning in with yourself, noticing what the tendencies of your body is. Might keep wanting to roll back, like mine. Noticing where else in the body you might be gripping. I was just doing something really funny with my free hand and then noticed it. And then just bringing conscious awareness that, oh yeah, I don't need to be doing that. I can relax that. And we'll give that strap some slack, let the leg come forward. Taking the strap off. And just making your way into slowly, so you ease into movement, making your way into a down dog just for transition. I think you know what's coming. We'll just go into a pigeon to release the low back. If there was anything there from doing those hip flexor openers. So bringing the right leg forward, moving into your pigeon. Just allowing this to make space in your sacrum from all of that bending. Letting your shoulders relax, your head relax. And if you need a little boost underneath that right hip, you can use your block or your towel roll. For these last couple moments, you might come up onto your hands and bend your back knee, reaching back for the ankle. Since we've been opening the quad and hip flexor in this way anyway. And then releasing that if you have it, coming back into your pigeon. Your down dog, excuse me. And we'll move to the other side. So left leg goes forward. Right leg can extend back and you'll make your way down onto your elbows. Maybe spreading your elbows wide and creating a little folded pillow with your hands for your forehead. Of course, you can use a block. Feeling your low back opening. Breath coming in and out. Your glute opening. Using all those sensations to keep you right here in the present moment. And for these last few moments, you can bend your back knee, grab hold of the ankle. And slowly releasing it. And then you can just lean to the left and spin your legs out from underneath to in front of you. And come lying on your back. Bring both knees into your chest. Tapping your toes down to the ground. Bring your hips to the left. Knees come back into your chest and they fall over to the right. You can put a block or even a towel roll between your legs if that feels good. And you can use your elbows in a T to pin you down, and then, or pin them down, and lift your shoulders, moving them slightly to the right for a deeper twist, if that feels okay. And then slowly bringing your knees. If you have something between your legs, you can keep it there. Bringing your knees back to center, touching your feet down onto the ground, and shift your hips to the opposite side. Knees come in and over to the left. Again, you can pin your elbows down and then shift your shoulders to the left, creating a deeper twist. Feeling the side glutes opening from this. Getting our glutes to relax through all of that back bending where they might tend to grip. You're starting to bring your knees back through center. You can take whatever you have between your legs off to the side, and then we're going to make our way up to set ourselves up for this next posture. So I'll show you what it looks like, but this is how you're going to set up your props. You've got your 2 blocks on their lowest setting, and you can adjust as needed. These 2 blocks are going to go like right below our boobs and like on our rib cage. So just supporting a lift. Now that could be kind of hard. So take your towel, unroll it, and maybe fold it a couple times so that you create a little bit of cushion, and put that on top of the blocks. Okay. The strap is going to go underneath your ankles. So we're lying this way, right? I'm going to actually take mine back so I have some more room for my head. And then the strap is going to go across the mat. You can kick your toes back so it goes underneath your toes. And then have the tail ends of the strap move towards your blocks so that they're there. Depending on how long your strap is and your body proportions, you might have to adjust as you come down into this position. So again, like I said, the blocks are going to be underneath your rib cage here, right? Just below my boobs. And the strap, let's see, I gotta get up and adjust the strap because my knees went back too far. And then coming back down. And so what will happen from here, the reason why these tail ends of the straps are here is to aid your ankles, right? So you'll work the strap up to your ankles and then bring the tail ends of the strap forward. You can support yourself with your elbows. What I like to do, and again, this all depends on the length of your strap. Let me just set the timer before we go further. It all depends on the length of your strap, but you might even be able to nudge your elbows right at the blocks here. And then you can pull the tails forward and maybe your hands can reach the ground. Maybe not. Now, if this is too uncomfortable, you can do it without the blocks. You can do just a regular Sphinx pose where your legs are long and your elbows are down, palms are down. You can also just work your elbows forward. And if your strap is long enough, you can put your hands underneath your forehead and let your head relax. Mine is not that long. So for me, I like my elbows supported by my blocks and bringing my hands sort of together so that it brings my heels a little closer to my glutes. So this is quite the bend for your hips, bringing your hips into extension. And I like to, just for a moment, squeeze my glutes and press my hips down. So it kind of extends my knees back some, bringing a little bit more extension. And then I'll let that go and let it be passive again. Make sure you're not like looking totally forward and cranking the back of your neck. You have a nice long line of the back of your neck. I know sometimes in these shapes, we can feel like our boobs are in the way of the blocks. So that's why just making sure they are below the breasts, on the rib cage. Another thing that you can do if this doesn't feel right, but you want something more than Sphinx, is bow pose, which is what this is. It's a supported bow, which is just reaching your hands like in the same exact position, maybe without the blocks, and reaching your hands back to hold the ankles. You can release the strap. Don't let your legs slingshot back. Just slowly lengthen them back. You place your hands underneath your shoulders and then come to your hands and knees just to adjust the back. And now you'll take the strap out of the way. And then we're going to take these blocks and just turn them perpendicular to how they just were. And we'll do what we've done many times before, where you line the bottom of the blocks to your hip crease and then come all the way down. This is nice and passive, nice and relaxing. And this will be our last shape. So as you relax in this last shape, finding that perfect spot where your hips get to bend in the opposite direction of what we've been working. And where your low back can fully relax. Allow your elbows to spread wide, your head to relax down onto the mat or your hands or a block, or maybe the towel roll, whatever you have nearby. And just fully giving into your practice. Noticing how you are closing your movement practice. What quality of thoughts you have. How you're meeting this present moment with kindness or resistance. Where's your breath? Is it shallow? Is it lengthened? And once again, we'll slowly take hands underneath shoulders and press up to hands and knees. And we'll get ourselves ready for Nidra. So I will stop the record. We'll take 5 minutes to have a restroom break. And I'll see you shortly.